I'm Matt, and this is Talking About Tyranids. With the release of the new Codex, one of the things you have to focus on before making a new army list or doing Math Hammer is to lose your previous ideals and flush your mind of the old Codex. 4th edition is gone, 5th edition is here. First thing I'm going to discuss is the changes to our special rules, in particular instinctive behavior. It acts as normal. If you fall out of Synapse, you have to take the instinctive behavior special rule. However, there is one change, and there are two separate types of instinctive behaviors. There are feeders, and there are lurkers. Whether a certain model is a feeder or a lurker is identified in its profile. And basically, let's say you have a unit that falls out of Synapse, alright? You can have them pass a leadership test to act normally for the turn, or if it fails, based on its lurker or feeder profile, it will either seek out terrain or in cover. It'll basically lurk. The other type of instinctive behavior is called feed, and when a unit with the feed special rule goes to instinctive behavior, it will gain the rage universal rule, and it'll basically just try to seek out combat with another unit as quickly as possible. A couple of other big changes has been to the close combat biomorphs, such as Crushing Claws and Scything Talons. Lash Whip and Bone Sword is a good combo now. But first let's talk about Crushing Claws. A Tyranid of Crushing Claws gains an extra D3 attacks in close combat. So, I liked it better when it was D6, but this is a new codex, so we gotta look at the bigger picture. We gotta look at how it upgrades, how we apply it to 5th edition. So, I can't give the full profile, I don't think, because copyright, blah blah blah. Pretty much, that's changed. Another thing that has changed very, very much is the Scything Talons. Scything Talons used to add an extra attack to your profile, but what they do now is they allow you to re-roll ones to hit in close combat. If you have 2 pairs of Scything Talons, you can re-roll 1s and 2s, basically everything that you can re-roll everything that fails. Lash Whip and Bone Sword combo. The Lash Whip brings models in base to base down to initiative 1, which can be an awesome biomorph to have. Wasn't a big combo in 4th edition because it didn't do much. But now, you know, if you have a Hive Tyrant or a Swarm Lord with 3 Tyrant Guard and they all have Lash Whips, you're going to be able to knock down that unit before they get the chance to strike back. Bone Sword. An enemy model wounded by somebody with a Bone Sword has to take a leadership test, or they suffer instant death, which is very good. And if they have if they have a pair of Bone Swords, the test is going to be taken on 3d6 instead of 2d6. So, what next? Some old ranged weapons have changed a lot as well. The Venom Cannon has gone down to a Strength 6 AP4 weapon. It is now a Salt 1 Blast. Now the Blast template, it's kinda better, kinda worse, I guess. But I guess I'll have to play test it to see how it goes. However, there's the Heavy Venom Cannon now, which is a Strength 9 AP4 Assault 1 Blast as well. Basically, paying more points for that higher strength, which we had anyway. However, we're dumping the old Codex. Even I have to get that out of my mind, that this is no longer 4th edition. So let's see. Barb Strangler, where is that? Wow. Strength 4, AP5, Assault 1, Large Blast, Pinning. So pretty much they only changed the strength of that again. So the weapons that you might have had a Carnifex geared out in isn't going to be as good as it used to. Barb Strangler Venom Cannon combo is gone. Living Ammunition is gone as well. That was, for those of you that don't know, that is a biomorph that used to be on the old Fleshborer and Devourer, I believe. Maybe in the Deathspit, I'm not sure. And what it did was it allowed for reroll to wounds. So that is gone now, and we'll have to see how they make up for that, whatnot. So from the looks of it, we only have one ranged weapon that is capable of punching through a Armor 14 vehicle, and that is a Heavy Venom Cannon. Now in the old edition we had the glancing only rule. In the 5th edition we have a -1 penalty to our roll on the vehicle damage chart if it's not open-topped. So there's still that there. We can't destroy a vehicle, but we can wreck it, which sometimes is a lot better, because let's say you were making a charge up a middle bottleneck. You could wreck the vehicle, use that for cover as you get through. So, good and bad. Just like a lot of things in the Codex you're going to see, is good and bad. So we'll just push through and see how it goes. Last thing I want to talk about before getting onto the specific units are the biomorphs. Those have taken a tremendous change. There's far less, and they do far more. So, in the old edition, we had things that increased your model's base stats, such as adrenal glands, toxin sacs, reinforced chitin, things like that. In the new version, we have a lot more tactical upgrades, such as acid blood, which, for every unsaved wound a model does to you, they take a test. If they fail that test, they get a wound, pretty much. So you could have for every unsaved wound. So basically you can get mauled by a bunch of people, but you can still do a lot of damage before you go down. Adrenal glands, they give the Furious Charge special rule now. And one of the big changes of biomorphs is we no longer have anything that increases your base profile stats. You don't have the Carnifexes with toughness 7 anymore. You don't have the strength 5 gene stealers and the strength 4 gaunts. Basically, our biomorphs are acting like everybody else's upgrades. Got the toxin sacs, which act as a poison 4+, which can be good, because if you give that to your gaunts, then they can now hit marine equivalents on a 4+ instead of a 5. And you get to reroll wounds on anything equal to or less than your strength or toughness, I believe. I'll have to look that one up. Wings act the same, and there are a couple others here that pretty much haven't changed very much, but it's good to give yourself a little read over there and figure out exactly what has changed so you can make a list according. This video is getting pretty long, and I don't want to go too long, because basically who wants to hear me drone on and on with some music in the background? So, I talked about the special rules, the close combat biomorphs, the range biomorphs, and the regular biomorphs. How those have changed, and now I'll give my overview of the rest of the Codex. Again, I'm going to pound into your guys' head that you have to get rid of your previous ideals and learn the new Codex. We're Tyranids, we're made to evolve, we are made to adapt, and we are made to devour. So, go out, read your Codex, and devour the other armies. And this has been Matt for talking about Tyranids, and I wish you all a good luck in your adaptation and devouring. Yeah. So pretty much, give your book a thorough read.